I remember getting a color television. I remember seeing a PC for the first time. And I look at what's, you know, the difference in my lifetime from when I was born to where I am now in 16, and it's amazing. It's like another planet. And I say to myself, yeah, that was just my life when things were just getting started. What's it gonna be for people of your generation who were born at the cusp, right, at the turn of the century? When you're 50, like I am, what the hell will you have seen?
It's interesting when you think about what technology can do for us, what it's done for us already, and what it's going to continue to do. I'm a huge optimist. I believe that technology and the way that humans use technology is going to make the world a better place. It's going to help people in low-income areas or places that have never had access to maybe fresh water, good education, healthcare, get that access.
There's two ends of the socioeconomic scale of leisure. Those who have everything and have a lot of time for leisure, and those who have nothing and they're living out of the back of their car and they have leisure.
When you achieve everything that you've ever desired, you create new goals. And so like you're never satisfied because it just keeps perpetuating. And in the same sense, you could focus on technology as being that way as well. Because, you know, once we create something to automate our laundry, well then we gotta go focus on the next thing.
And that's a uniquely American thing that maybe we need to think about. You know, that we don't take the vacation time that European companies kind of require you to take. Yeah, when Americans are given free time, we fill it up with work, for better or for worse.
Millennials particularly, we sort of have a case of constant ADD, right? We always want to be doing something, we always want to be stimulated, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think technology has the ability to change the world in a better way. I think it's doing that, I think it'll continue to do that, and I think some of the concerns about we spend too much time on social media is probably overblown.
Social media is almost like a facade. You only see people post like the really important things or the things that they really want you to see.
Here's the thing, all right, yeah, so I don't use social media. I understand that, well, I may think that I am, you know, righteous for doing that. I'm in fact wrong. That's the way the world has gone.
I had a walk one night and I was walking in the dark and I walked past a bunch of houses and it really freaked me out that every house that I walked by, I saw a television set on. And people were just sitting in front of their TV, literally like 10 houses in a row. And I was like, I don't think any of these people are talking to each other. I don't think that they're doing anything other than watching TV. And I guess maybe that's okay. But there is something wholesome to say about, you know, prior to us having that, you know, more time was spent with talking. You were kind of almost forced to like socialize.
If you don't have the time as a parent to read to your children, if you don't have the time to play games with them, if you don't have the time to, you know, to teach them life's lessons, and you stick an iPad in front of them because it's easy and convenient, then I think you're maybe not doing your job.
When you're really young, you know, when your brain gets shifted into high gear and you just start absorbing everything, that's the age when a lot of these kids are first given, not a cell phone usually, but an iPad. They've grown up with this stuff. It's not even second nature to them. It's just, it's almost like they were born doing it.
But kids shouldn't be spending 4 hours playing Candy Crush or playing Clash of the Clans. And they also shouldn't be getting crappy toys that end up in the closet after 5 minutes of play.
As long as you are learning to be human, then technology shouldn't have a sort of negative effect.
There is no escaping technology. It's growing so rapidly and ever present in all of our lives. So at the same time, you'll have children that are almost left behind as a result of them living a semi-Luddite life, if you will, or, you know, having no access to technology. And also, in a social sense too, there's so many circumstances where kids will use that as their social communication.
We've played on teenagers' fears, right? We've exaggerated them, we've scared them in various ways. usually to sell them a product. I think ultimately that's really at the core of it. What we've done is we've built into them this fear that they're going to miss something, that everybody else is going to be in on the joke or the thing or whatever the hell it is, and they're going to be on the outside again. And of course, for a teenager, that's the worst possible thing to be, on the outside of anything. So by building this giant thing that says, no, it's all about inclusion and connecting with each other, the last thing some poor kid wants to do is be outside of that.
I think you spend the amount so they stay current. You don't need the latest iPhone 7. You get a couple generations older and you're going to learn a lot of the same things.
Planned obsolescence, you guys have heard of that? You know, when somebody makes a machine that's designed to break, because then you have to buy a new one. You know, in a way, technology doesn't betray us. We have betrayed the technology.
There are no, really durable products anymore. Your TV breaks, buy a new one. If we don't continue to produce, will we have economic growth?
But there's a real downside to producing things faster, right? That overproduction brings with it a kind of price. We get obsessed with more.
Our price consciousness and trying to keep everything inexpensive for the consumer drives a lot of that behavior. A gallon of gas, being $2 or $2.35, it's less than milk. I mean, it's less than a gallon of water.
I mean, the United States actually produces more manufactured goods than it did 25 years ago. The reason it doesn't employ nearly as many people is because of automation.
Low-skilled jobs are going to go away. Not many people that are working in low-skilled jobs want to work in low-skilled jobs. I also don't think that everyone wants to work those 60-hour work weeks, and if you can use technology to help make what we do more efficient and automated, and give people more leisure time, that is going to improve the quality of life.
I think if we send a mission to Mars, they're going to have a 3D printer with them, because you can print tools, you can print replacement parts. It's literally like it's the Swiss Army knife of fabrication.
Automation technology is nothing until we make it something. It is a blank piece of paper, a really fancy one that can process 1 million things per second, but it's still a blank. And it's not until we pick it up that we determine whether or not it's going to be a weapon.
How far is too far, I think, in technology is your question.
Where do you draw the line? What technology do you allow to advance? What do you not allow to advance? Who makes those decisions?
Determining right and wrong is a challenge, right? Because it's so relative to the person or the company.
I will be a soldier to fight this war so that my children will then have the ability to become merchants and build businesses so that their children can become artists. That was the goal of the Enlightenment, to get to yourself where you could appreciate, absorb, experience art and philosophy and thinking and beauty and truth. That was the original American dream. That's what they wanted to do. And of course, post-World War II, we got hung up on step 2, merchants. Boom, done. Business is the end of everything. And of course, it's not. Until we can get it out of our heads that profit is the end of everything. That is the ultimate goal. Until we, embrace those old Enlightenment values that, maybe there's something beyond just making a buck. Only then will technology then be allowed to have any kind of impact. Right now, all it is, look at it. It's a means for profit. It's what we immediately, create some piece of technology and immediately sell it out, enslave it, design it so that it's designed for profit only.